And good evening from the J.C. Newman Cigar Studios just outside of Boston, Massachusetts. My name is Matt Tobacco from SmokinTabacco.com. Welcome to another episode of the Smokin Tabacco Show. I am joined once again by my beautiful fiancée, the legendary Smokin Nicole. And Mr. Jonathan Carney is not with us tonight. And I don't have any guests. Well,
mystery guest.
we have a mystery guest. Not a guest that maybe anyone would anticipate a guest of,
No.
but there is a third person that will be joining us in person tonight. So welcome to the show. What are you smoking? I'm gonna join you in that in a minute, but go ahead and tell everyone.
I'm smoking a Julius Caesar, and I'm not actually familiar because you handed this to me right before the show.
This is a special size.
You have the box.
I wouldn't call it a limited I wouldn't call it like a limited edition. I'd call it a limited production, as our friends from J.C. Newman have told us. It is the Julius Caesar Et tu Brute, or what Fuente people would more commonly recognize it as, like a shark.
It's too blurry.
Well known for being part of the Toast Across America box that the Newman and Fuente families put out for Cigar Family Charitable Foundation every year. They come in the 2-pack of one of these and then an opus, but these can come. They do come boxed on their own, box of 20, but it's just not a very common box to find. But they are good. I would say Julius Caesar is probably my favorite of the Diamond Crown line. I like all the other ones. The Black Diamond's pretty good too, but the Julius Caesar, I gotta say, is my favorite. I love this cigar. This particular size is cool. Whenever I have these on hand, I get really excited. I also really like the Churchill in this one as well. And so I have one here that I will start up in a second. I am finishing a rarity. I don't normally smoke these on the show, at least. I actually have a Cohiba Maduro 5 from the great island of Cuba. And it's not often. I don't think we ever really smoke Cubans on the show.
No.
It's not really like it's intentional. It's just kind of like, I mean, we have them. We have a good amount of them. We just never really.
They're hit or miss. I mean,
yeah.
I like the Partagas Serie E, but I find them sometimes to just be tight, depending on.
As all Cubans are.
Yeah, exactly. So, not my favorite, personally, but.
I found this box in one of my humidors, and I was just kind of feeling it. I'm like, yeah, sure. It's the smaller side, the Secreto side. I don't know. But. So the smaller side, and I was like, I'm in the mood for the show, but I am going to get into a Julius Caesar in a moment. It's been an interesting week for us. Something happened this week that blew right by, and I didn't even and it dawned on me today while I was at work, and I was doing some stuff, and I was just like, it's September 2nd. I totally dropped the ball on this. For those who don't know, the Smokin Tabacco brand, the concept of it, the name, all of that, not the show, that has its own celebratory day on May Day Eve, was started September 1st of 2019. So yesterday marked the 2-year anniversary of the Smokin Tabacco brand as a whole.
I know. I feel like, you only missed it by a day, granted, but I feel like this is foreshadowing any of our future anniversaries. It's just going to blow past you, and you're going to forget.
I don't know about that. I mean, it's hard to forget, an anniversary like that. That's obviously that anniversary will be much more important to me than this.
As they all say, right?
As it should. I would say it'll still be number 2. It'll still be number 2, but it will be there regardless, nonetheless. No, so it's crazy because the show we celebrated the 1-year anniversary of the show itself back in April. But Smokin Tabacco is more than just the show. So, being fully involved in trying to, build and promote, it started, it started on Instagram, it grew to Facebook, then it grew to its own website, and then it grew to a lot of other things, and then it grew to a show, and then it grew to another show, and then it grew to, just so many things that we're doing, and fundraisers we've done, and in media coverage at events and trade shows and on the go, and all that other stuff, more than just here in the studio. So. Yeah, it's been a long ride, and I said before, I wrote a post about it on Facebook. It feels like it's been like 10 years. Like, it's one of those things that we just spent so much time doing, and 2 years is not a long time, but it can feel like a long time, and it's already felt like a lifetime. And I look at all the our peers, like Coop or KMA just celebrated their 10th anniversary, like last week. Which was really cool. They were at JC Newman with Bobby and Eric Newman. That was really cool. They've been doing it for 10 years. Cigar Authority, I think, is 11 years now. And that's a long time. I can only imagine how those guys must feel. But we're still here. We're still going. Looking ahead to our 3rd anniversary and many more beyond that. So, just really happy to be here. And thank you to all of our followers, viewers, listeners, fans, and, of course, our partners who help make this happen. Thank you guys sincerely. I appreciate it. I know Nicole appreciates it.
We both do.
It's it is special. A lot of people, and it's not trash talk, but there's a lot of people who don't make it because they realize it's not for them, or they see the work that goes into it, and maybe they're just not up for that commitment, and that's okay. Really, it's not,
It is a commitment.
It is a commitment, and it's not for everyone, and that's okay. And some people, they like the idea, they try it, they give it an honest go, and it's not for them, and that's too bad. But at least they had that experience and they tried it. So there's a lot of people who start out, not a lot of them finish, or stick with it, and and that happens, in anything you do. So we're still here. We're going ahead. Everything's good. So.
I was saying
I'm not getting into it.
Good.
I know where that'll lead to. That humming will lead to a whole, and then everyone's gonna ask me to do a certain impression, and no, it's not coming out today. I did talk to him today, by the way, but he was busy, and we're trying to talk about some business. But anyway, that's for another time. As I said, we have a guest. It's an unconventional guest, but it's a guest nonetheless, and he will be making his appearance here.
Yes, I'll be stepping off to allow for this guest to come in.
A lot of people might say that he looks very familiar.
Some people who have been on our herfs or on McAuliffe herfs before will have known him or seen him.
Right. Yeah. If you've been on any of our herfs, you've probably run into him maybe here and there. He's been on a couple of those. But still, with present company included, he looks very familiar, and that's the only hint that I'm going to give you. So we'll get into that in a little bit. No guest this week. You can't have a guest every week. Sometimes we just need to have our own thing going on here. We do have a lot of guests coming up.
So this will be our last show for at least 4 weeks where we don't have a guest on. So we have been booking like crazy. I feel like we had a little bit of a lull after the trade show, but we have some great people. And actually, we might as well tease some of those people coming on.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
So first up, we have September 9th, next week, Klaas Kellner.
That's going to be a Davidoff week.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm excited. I'm very excited. After that, on the 16th, we have Mr. Travis Lord joining us. That'll be a little bit of a different show. We'll talk a little bit more about marketing and whatnot. He's done a lot of work.
Give his background info.
I'll give a light teaser because I want to really present that on the show. But he's done a lot of marketing and online work for a lot of notable retailers. And he's gonna give us a little bit of background on kind of what goes into that and something a little bit different than just a manufacturer or the farmer or a retailer themselves or someone else from the media. A little bit different take of something that is also integral to part of the cigar media. I'm sorry, cigar media, the cigar industry in general. So that'll be a really interesting show. Followed up with that on the 23rd, we have Mr. Abe Flores for PDR Cigars. That'll be a really cool episode. We ran into him at the trade show. I don't think we got to sit down and film with him.
We didn't.
His booth was slammed. He was doing a great job. I saw him here and there. I said hello, but we just never really had a good opportunity to really kind of get in there and butt in there. So I kind of let him do his thing. But he's coming on the show. We'll have plenty of time to talk to him then. And then rounding out the end of September on the 30th, we have none other than Scott Pierce from the Premium Cigar Association. And that'll be an interesting show because, we can have him on the show with us one-on-one. We can kind of talk about, from his perspective, being with part of the PCA, kind of, what went down this year and the likes, the dislikes on his end, what he's working on with the board and everyone else to make better or to change, as well as non-show related stuff, just kind of what they're working on in the courtroom. You know what I mean? What are they working on legislatively? With the FDA, stuff like that. So it'll be an interesting show.
Yeah, we're due like a legislation based show. I feel like we haven't had one in a while, so that'll be good. We're also going to be on someone else's show on Sunday night.
We are.
El Oso Fumar.
We will be.
Yep.
That's going to be a great show. Our good friend Bear, who has been on our show, actually he was on our show a couple weeks ago.
He was. Yep.
I had made an appearance on El Oso Fumar previously as a fill-in, and we talked about some different media stuff, but Bear wanted to have us both on to do a more conventional interview with both of us at Smokin Tabacco. So we will be doing that this Sunday night at 10 p.m. Eastern, I believe is the time that show begins. Sunday night, 10 p.m. Eastern, El Oso Fumar takes, I think it's take 189, I want to say. I think it's 189. I could be wrong. I think it's 189. So don't miss that. That's always fun for us when we get to be on the other side of the table. It's fun. We just were on the McAuliffe Off the Record show. Shout out to our friends at McAuliffe Cigars.
Yeah. They always do a good interview. Theirs are so interesting.
Yeah, we were with Andy and Lauren. That was a great time. Love both of them. Really, they've been great friends of ours too, partners. So that was fun. Get to go on El Oso Fumar. That's cool. I have the luxury of getting to just be on camera with Coop every other Saturday. So I always have that to look forward to. So there's no spare notes this week, but next weekend, next Saturday, you can find spare notes, episode number 6, as we get into a variety of things. Whatever, usually the spare notes series is whatever beef Coop has going on.
You have beef too.
I do. I have beef, and I'll go, hey, Coop, like this, like, and I'm talking.
He's going to be talking about his cigar memes he's been posting lately. That's
his
beef.
Yeah, my cigar memes have been how do I want to approach this one? Like, they're funny and they're joking, but also like there was a couple of them, not all of them. There was only like really one or two that were really like, it was something that really did annoy me, and I made a meme about it, and then a lot of people thought they were funny, so I just kept making them. But I don't want to beat a dead horse with the same meme, so I think I'm good for now. Maybe I'll make some more, the cardboard sign guy. Mm-hmm. And that was mostly the Cohibas one. And this is not planned. I happen to be smoking a Cuban Cohiba, a real Cuban Cohiba. I don't, But it's just funny. Like, you go on all these Facebook groups, right? And
every other day.
You've seen it. I've seen it. We've all seen it. You've all seen it. You all know what I'm talking about. No one's going to be like, what are they talking about? You all know. There's always that one guy who posts a picture of the glass top Cohibas that are always fake. Spoiler alert. And they go, hey, I got these from a buddy from Mexico. Are these real? No, they're not real. They're not real. If it comes in a glass top, they're not real. And it's just funny, and it's so redundant because like the same picture of the same shit keeps getting posted with the same question. It's like, doesn't anybody like follow all the other ones? It's like, no, they're not real. The other one that kind of got me was the ones where it's is this plume or mold? I'm too afraid to smoke it. And it's like, wipe it off. I mean, if it's really moldy, like, and it's like really ingrained in the cigar, like, throw it away. Don't be stupid. But like, if it's a light dusting, rub it off, light it, smoke it. I mean, it's not gonna kill you. It's okay. I don't know. That's just me being a little cranky, I guess.
Yeah, he gets cranky. News.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up the thing on here, and it's driving me nuts because it won't go. I don't know why. It's just my phone like doesn't want to cooperate with me today. I had it all ready to go, and now I'm trying to get into. It's off of our website, and there we go. Um, so again, kind of following with. I don't normally do these kinds of news on the show, but it's just been like just a shit ton of cigar releases lately in the news. This one's kind of appropriate. J.C. Newman, our good friends at J.C. Newman, have announced that they are bringing back and I want to make sure I say it right. As a lot of these things that get pronounced wrong, but I believe it's the Yagua, which is a very interesting cigar. Now, I got one last year when they came out, and I had it put aside, and I was like, I'm gonna smoke this because I really want to try this. This is different. I only had one, and I think Nicole smoked it, which is okay. I mean, I wasn't mad about it, but she smoked it, and I didn't get to try it. And I think, do you remember that? Do you remember that cigar?
No, I'm going to be honest. I have the memory of like a goldfish, and I don't remember.
Yeah.
I can't remember what cigar I smoked on what day 2
So-
years ago, or I can't. He can. I can't. So I just smoke them and I enjoy them. That's all. That's all there is to it.
The Jaguar is a cigar that it's interesting because it's pressed wet, so it doesn't have a very conventional shape to it.
And now that you said that, I do
You remember that one?
a little bit. Yeah, the wet pressed.
It's
yes. Very rare.
So when
that
it comes
you smell
out
something
of the
like
mold, it's almost like it's flat on one side, and then it's like half curved, and then it's an odd shape.
that. Yeah.
And they use under fermented Connecticut broadleaf tobacco. It's only being released in 1,000 boxes, so it'll be a limited run. A little bit difficult to find. Those will be landing soon in retailers. This was about the same time last year they came out. So I definitely have to grab some this year because I didn't get it. I didn't get to try it last year, and I was really disappointed. But so keep an eye out for that. As always, I totally missed the intro on that. I totally botched that, and I apologize. But our news segment was brought to you by our good friends at McAuliffe Cigars. McAuliffe Cigars become an ambassador today. If you head over to McAuliffeCigars.com, you can sign up to be an official ambassador, get your ambassador's coin and number, and be part of the club. Speaking of McAuliffe, McAuliffe actually...
They have a new release.
They do. They have a new size
South.
of the McAuliffe A, and I'm trying to go back and grab it here. It's right here. It's a Gordo size, and this cigar is obviously an extension off of the very popular McAuliffe A that they released last year. Arguably the best cigar that they have made yet.
I love the A, so I am very excited for the Gordo.
Mm.
Like, very excited for it. As you can see, repping McAuliffe, so.
And it will be a 6x60.
Yep.
Which is actually a cool size. I like 6x60s. I won't smoke them all the time, but I'll smoke them frequently enough.
I don't typically get excited about them, but I am excited about this. 60's a little bit over my comfort zone. I will smoke a 60, but it's not my favorite. Personally.
I like a bigger cigar. I especially like them longer because I like a longer smoke, much like Winston Churchill. With the namesake side. He wanted a longer cigar to smoke, and that's where that longer cigar comes from. I like a longer cigar. I like A's, like actual A's. Like the A side, the 9.5-inch long cigars. I like Churchills. I love Lanceros. It's not necessarily a ring gauge thing for me. Like I said, I'll do a small Lancero. I'll do a Churchill. I'll do, I'll even do, there's some cigars like Byron has one that I really like, the Aristocratus, which is an 8.5 by. Oh, damn, I'm gonna botch this one. I want to say it's like 8.5 by 52. I think. It's a long yet somewhat girthier cigar for a longer cigar. I enjoy those. Those are great. More of a special occasion cigar, but it's a very good cigar, and it's got a good size to it, not just in length, but also, in its thickness. Smaller cigars, like Coronas and like the small. It's not that I don't like them. It's just I like a long smoke. So short cigars for me, it's like
Oh, see, I love them when I know I don't have enough time.
it's just never
know what I
been.
mean?
It's
Like
just
when I'm
never been my. It's just
grilling
never been
or
my forte.
or just I know I only have like 45 minutes. That's a good time for me. But anyway, I think it's just about time to bring our mystery guest on.
Have you already had enough?
No.
Wow, that was quick.
What do you mean?
You only been on here for like 15 minutes.
We've been live for 20 minutes.
Have we already? That's quick.
Yeah.
Oh. It's amazing how time flies.
25 minutes. Boom.
All right, we'll bring him on.
Okay.
We'll see if he's worthy. If he can't keep up, then we'll have to bump him out.
Okay.
Not everyone's cut
Fair.
out to be on the air.
So I am no way responsible for what this guest says.
It's not Matt Booth. It's not Matt Booth.
He is a non-cigar industry guest. He is my brother,
That's right.
my little brother,
It's family,
Jonathan.
which is very important.
So we're gonna bring him on the show tonight.
You ready, bud? You coming on?
All right.
Let's go.
Hold on, we gotta play chair roulette. So
All right, swap them out. Let's go.
I know. All right. Let's do this.
Sit a little forward. There you go. All right.
There we go.
Hey,
We're
buddy.
in. What's going on?
Welcome to the show. Gonna bring your mic up a little bit. Boom. This is Jonathan Fantasia. This is Smokin Nicole's baby brother.
How we doing?
He's making his Smokin Tabacco show debut. What are you smoking tonight?
Florida Sungrown.
Mm.
Haven't had one. It's actually really good.
What do you think about it?
It's
You
pretty
got a
good.
Florida Sungrown hat on. You got Florida Sungrown cigar. You're just really into that Florida Sungrown.
Nicole had to hook me up before I came on, so I didn't look like a scrub.
Yeah, that's
You know.
always a good idea.
Yeah.
She's really good at that. Yeah, as you know. She keeps us both in line here.
She's the stylish one in the family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She takes care of us. So Jonathan, you have been smoking cigars probably almost as long as I have.
Unofficially.
Unofficially.
Yeah.
But you do smoke a lot, and since obviously I've known you the last couple of years, you've gotten to smoke more and learn a little bit more.
Has it been years already?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. You've gotten a lot of time, to smoke with me and kind of, see a lot of stuff that we do and kind of pick up off of that. And so I know you've gotten really familiar with cigars now. I know you're a big LFD fan. I know you're a Macalla fan. What are some of the things that you actually like to smoke?
Whatever you give me.
Oh wow, what an answer!
Yeah.
What an answer.
LFD was the first one you gave me from, being like a corner store. How do you say Macanudo?
Yeah, I mean, Macanudo's
Smoker.
not really. Well, I mean, I guess it is in some aspects.
Well, that's
but
what I would smoke. I'd go down to the corner store and grab like a case of beer and a couple of sticks out of their not well kept humidors, and
That's very true. They're not well kept in
not
those
at all.
stores.
They'll
No,
break apart.
they don't care. They're not cigar people. They don't care. They just throw them in there and hope that they sell something.
They do. People get them all the time.
Yeah, they do.
You know?
It's interesting. And that's how a lot of us have started. That you started the the corner store, the convenience store stuff that they have. The Swisher Sweets, the Phillies Blunts, the Grape Games, which obviously people use for a lot of other things too. But people
I used to actually smoke those.
smoke them or use them for other things.
Both, but but I would actually smoke them as well because a lot of my friends, we'd hang out and we'd go grab a couple of them and smoke them. Thought we were ballers,
You thought you were badass.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. And then you got to spend all this time learning about real premium cigars.
Well, the way things are made, the different growing techniques, soil. I never knew soil affected cigars.
Indirectly, yeah. I mean, the way the tobaccos are grown and what soils are grown in, the climates, the regions. There's so many variable change that can happen. And then it's the weather. It's the weather itself. That crop year. Too much rain, not enough rain. It's more dry. It's more wet. More sun, not a lot of sun. These things. And it's something like even like the wine industry. Experiences too. With the grapes and the vineyards. And that's one of the beauties about these products is not only are they handmade, but it's a natural thing that's grown. and there's things that can affect it, and it's a lot to learn. So I'll give you that, and you've done a great job of learning that and picking that. You do ask a lot of questions, and
Well, because I like to know what I'm smoking now.
you're a very hands-on kind of guy. You're a very technical kind of guy. Like myself, you're also in the blue-collar field.
Mm-hmm.
You formerly were in auto mechanic.
Yes, 10
and,
years.
And you did a lot of work with a lot of manufacturers, including Porsche. I know you worked with Porsche. You went to the Porsche headquarters.
Yes.
Did some stuff with the Porsche Performance division. And now you've made a change, and you're trying to get a little bit more into more of a trade-like setting.
Well, I mean, cars are trades too.
Are they?
Yes.
Is that a trade?
Yeah.
I mean, it's physical. It's hands-on. But is it like what I do?
Auto is a trade.
Yeah.
I will.
This car keeps going out. I'm just going to start with the J.C. Newman. But yeah, so I mean, you understand my lifestyle. We live almost the same kind of life.
Tired.
Tired.
Very
working
tired.
out in the heat.
Tired life.
It's something that we've had to keep trying to.
A lot of sweat.
Yeah, it's
in
hot.
A lot of places.
It's tiring. It's very physical. Sometimes we have to tell Nicole why we work a little bit harder than she does.
Wow. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
He shouldn't have said that.
I know. I was a joke. Actually, I didn't. Yeah, you need to cut her. But anyway, let's leave Nicole alone. We don't need to get her going because we all know what happens when we get her going. It's never a good time.
Yeah.
So, other than LFD and McAuliffe, you're also a Fuente guy too. You've had the luxury of getting into some of the cooler stuff of Fuente. I know you're a regular Fuente guy. I know the short stories, even going way back. I know the short story was one of your favorite cigars too.
It still is. One, because like she said, if you don't have a lot of time, you can hammer one of those things down pretty quickly. And they're good. They're just really good, and they're affordable. They're a very good price too, wherever you get them typically.
Now, let me ask you this question: when it comes to cigars, what you've tried, you're still kind of going through that phase where you're trying to really just power through a lot of different stuff, experience a lot of new things, and try new, whether it's just manufacturers, regions, types of tobacco, whatever. What would you say so far is your favorite region, like Nicaraguan, Dominican, Honduran? I don't know if you've ever had any Honduran.
Probably just from what we've smoked, Nicaraguan.
You really like Nicaraguan?
Yeah, it's not too. They make like lighter cigars, right? Like sometimes it depends, right?
Not necessarily. Some
Yeah.
would argue Nicaraguan cigars are much more
Oh, maybe my
flavorful and stronger.
maybe my palate's just gotten stronger.
Maybe you just don't know what you're talking about.
Probably. No, but you give me a lot of Nicaraguan stuff.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, no, I mean we have a nice selection in the house, and a lot of the times you just smoke kind of what we have here.
I mean, in my humidor, I have probably 150 factory smokes.
Oh, the Drew Estate factory smokes, yeah.
Strictly because I got them in New Hampshire for a great price.
Yeah.
So.
The great state of New Hampshire, you can't.
But they're really good.
Can't
though.
beat it.
I like them. I like them a lot, actually. They're
That's something that we don't really talk a lot about on the show is a lot of those, budget-friendly bundles of cigars.
I mean, $50. I got 50.
Yeah, I mean,
It's like
one of my favorite bundles. I haven't bought one in a while, and it's funny because, and I'm not just saying this, but I said this to Dave Garofalo last week. We were at the Cigar Association of New Hampshire golf event last Friday, where we worked the LFD booth for John Carney, and I happened to see David Garofalo, and I just remember saying I got the email like that week that twoguyscigars.com had gotten in the a new stock of their signature the Dos Hombres Barber Pole. And I remember seeing that email and go, I haven't had those in a while. And the Dos Hombres bundles are great. Around the same price, around 50, 40 bucks or so. They come in a whole different selection of different tobaccos and in different sizes and whatnot. But the Barber Pole Churchills were awesome. I really like those. And that's like one of those bundles that I got to grab next time I'm in the store. Or even online. If you head to twoguyscigars.com, you can find them. No, they're great. And that's the thing. A lot of people look at that stuff, like the lower price point stuff, or like the bundles, and they frown upon it like, well, that's a bundle. It's not that right. A bundle is not going to be like, you know.
Yeah, but they're for people that want to smoke. That smoke like I smoke a cigar every day almost.
Right.
When I get home from work, I'm not gonna smoke a $30 stick every day.
Right.
You know, I'm gonna smoke my factory smoke that I got cheap.
But it also just it also means too, like it doesn't necessarily mean that it has to be just a bad smoke.
Yeah.
Like, or it's just a cheap smoke. It's not a high dollar cigar, but that doesn't mean that it's a bad cigar.
Yeah.
And
I mean, they're by Drew Estate.
Right.
I love Drew Estate. You know.
Yeah, I mean, Drew Estate makes. I mean, a lot of people make them. Perdomo has bundle cigars. They have the Fresco. They have the Yellow Jacket, which you both can find. You can find both of those at twoguyscigars.com. You also can find the Nick Sticks, which is not a bundle, but that's also another a more budget-friendly cigar from Perdomo Cigars. And I have Nicole texting me over here off to the side, which is interesting because
Get my brother off. He sucks.
Nicole's telling me. So Nicole's no, really. Nicole's over here saying we should do a battle of the bundles. That would be a great show idea. I actually
Battle
like
of the
that.
bundles.
We could do a battle of the bundles. We could do like a bundle, a whole bundle.
A bundle battle.
Like 3 or 4 different bundles. Break them open. Have all the smoke them all on the show. That'd be a cool idea. I like that concept. Well, we should do that. Something a little different. So stay tuned for that. We're always developing. Half the ideas we come up with right here on the show. Was it last week, Nicole? Was it last week or the week before where Jonathan here? We were on the show. We were live on the air. We had I forget who was with us. Someone was with us. We had a guest on the show, and you were you were texting us while we were on the air. Sorry,
Was
I need some water.
Oh, trivia. 99.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Trivia, the 99. This is normally trivia night for you, but you didn't go. You're here with us.
My friend, my buddy Will, we go to the 99 sometimes.
And you do
for
trivia
wing night, and they have trivia last time, and we won $50.
And you thought it was a great idea. I'm sorry, I don't know why my throat.
Oh, we said cigar trivia.
Oh, damn. Yeah, we're gonna do a cigar trivia night.
Count me out.
I think Carney was with us on that show because he was saying like, oh, we should do it like for our Christmas episode or something like that. And we could do like a giveaway. We could do prizes and whatnot, and we will be doing that. But I just want to, for the record, since you're here, for everyone who had to watch this happen the first time, I'm gonna call you out right here to your face. You thought it was a great idea to text me while I'm on the show. You knew I was live.
What day was it?
It was a Thursday.
Okay, in my defense, you used to have your show on a Wednesday. I'm like, well,
Yeah, but we've been on Thursdays for about 2 months now.
yeah, but I don't keep up.
And while I'm on the show, I said, "Hey, I'm on the show," and you went, "Don't care. Hurry up. I need the answer fast." And I'm like,
Dude, it's $50.
$50 what? A gift card?
Yeah.
Or cat? Oh, so it's a gift card. Yeah. So for what? For 99?
Yeah.
All right. So while I'm doing this, I'm supposed to.
We won.
That's great. Where's the gift card? Because I gave you
We
all those
used
answers.
it on our meal.
I gave you like half
And actually,
those answers.
Will had most of those answers down. You were confirmation for the answers because you're good at your movie stuff.
Well, I'm good at trivia in general.
Well,
But yeah,
you guys are pretty much on par. We got first place.
Yeah.
So
you're welcome.
thanks.
You're welcome.
I'll buy you wings or something.
Yeah, you should. Gold Fever, extra large.
All right.
It's my favorite. Let's see. What other questions could I ask you? I could ask you about Nicole. You want to go down this rabbit hole?
Sure.
So, let's back up a little bit. For those who don't know, Smokin Nicole actually lived a large portion of her life across the pond. Well, you lived there too for a short while, but Nicole lived there a lot longer. People know that, or if you don't know, Nicole actually lived in England for a while, and you guys actually lived separately for a few amount of years too, because she lived over there and you lived over here.
Probably.
How many years was that?
4, 5.
Yeah.
At least it had to have been at least.
What was it like being so far away from your sister?
Um.
And I know you're gonna say it was cool, but no, really. Did you miss Nicole?
Yeah, we all did.
Yeah.
We did. You know.
Did you cry at night because you wish she was here?
No.
You could have lied.
Huh?
You could have lied and said yeah.
Yes.
There you go. That's the right answer. I don't know what it is, but I don't know if it's all the fans. We have all these fans going. My shit just won't stay lit. The last couple of weeks, it's just been horrible on the show. But you spent a lot of time away from Nicole, and then Nicole came back. Was it like she was crashing the party for you? Because I mean,
a little bit. No, I'm just kidding.
because I mean, you had a great time here.
Well, it was just me and Dad,
Yeah,
chilling.
just chilling.
Yeah.
And then here comes Nicole, and
What's that thing from Step Brothers? You shit with the door open.
yeah, yeah. And now that is all wrecked. I know.
We were both still very young. I mean, we're almost.
But anyway,
30s.
getting to my primary point, you also lived over in England for a short while.
Yes,
What was that like?
different.
Different?
I had no friends.
Oh, that's so sad.
No friends. I think my only friend was a neighbor.
It was like 8.
Yeah, I was like 8 years old. I think I was older, but I wasn't. I was
You were
really
8
young.
years old and you had no friends.
I left in 3rd grade, went to 5th grade, came back into 4th grade. So I was all screwed up.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Yeah. Then you came back.
And they had a school house over there. It wasn't a.
Wasn't like a school.
No, it was a school house. It was like a gate, a yard, and like 2 buildings. And I was in class with like kids that were, 5 and 4 writing with fountain pens, perfect cursive. And I'm this American kid like, what the hell's going on here?
Did you feel out of place?
Yes.
Yeah.
It was around the time that song American Idiot came out by Green Day.
Ah.
So
They taunted you with that, didn't they?
they did.
They
I
called you
got,
American Idiot.
I got sent to the headmaster a lot for punching
The
kids.
headmaster.
Yes.
Ah.
That's what they called it. It's like the dean of the principal. They call it headmaster.
Like in Harry Potter.
Yeah. She had a wand.
Yeah.
It was weird.
Was Draco Malfoy your biggest enemy?
Um,
No, I'm just joking. That
Nah,
can't be a real answer because.
they were all in the Hufflepuff.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you drink a lot of tea over there?
I did, yeah.
It's funny. When I met Nicole last year, and early last year, and I learned of the England connection, and there was so many things from over there that she taught me about, like foods and just regular shit like that. But the biggest thing is I learned about tea, because obviously tea is big over there, and I was never really a big tea drinker. I liked it, but I didn't hate it, but I wasn't obsessed with it. I didn't drink a lot of tea, but I started getting into tea for a little bit, and I learned that it's almost like a cardinal sin to not drink tea without milk.
Not necessarily.
That's how she presented it to me.
I like Earl Grey tea and flavored ones without milk sometimes.
Do you?
Yeah, it depends.
Yeah.
What's the tea called? Is it like Teo or something? Or Tayo? I don't know. It comes in a big colorful box.
Tazo.
Tazo.
Tazo tea.
Really good tea.
Mm-hmm.
Really good tea. Yeah, it's flavored. Bunch of
It's a
flavors.
flavored tea.
Yeah, pomegranate stuff. It's actually really good. But I had never used milk with that
You're a flavored tea kind of guy.
flavored tea.
What about flavored cigars? You like flavored cigars?
I used to when I first started to smoke cigars. I like the cappuccino cigars.
Really?
Yeah, I forget who makes them. Couple people make
Couple
them.
people make
yeah.
them. Yeah.
Actually, so when I worked at a Chevy place in Arlington, some of my coworkers at the time, who I still talk to, they smoke cigars a lot,
Right.
and they used to always bring me in flavored cigars because that's what I'd smoke with them. Because I didn't like the regular heavy cigars until
Till later.
later.
You developed a palate for them.
I had gone over to my friend Mikey's house a little bit, and he has a nice humidor there, well-kept cigars. A lot of stuff now that I saw that he had in his humidor, that
Yeah.
from like what you have and stuff. And I would start to smoke the short stories. He had short stories.
Oh, okay.
He got
so
me on
that's
the
where
short
that came from.
short stories. Him and an old buddy another Jonathan. He got me into short stories, and then yeah, just that's on it. That really from then that's how I knew what Fuente was.
Okay.
Which from that, and that's, I mean, you're going back when I was 19, 20, 27 now. So
Let me ask you this question. I know you're a big bundle smoker. You've smoked a whole collection of different things. What's probably the nicest or even most expensive cigar that you've ever had?
I'm gonna have to go with my Angel Share Opus.
Really?
Yeah.
That's the nicest thing you've had.
Well, so far.
Yeah.
'Cause you won't give
That's
me
a good cigar. No,
you
it's a
won't
good
give me
cigar.
anything else.
It's not just stuff I give you. I mean, you have your own stuff.
That's
you buy
true.
stuff too. It's not just
I do.
me.
I have some Angel Share at home. I have a lot of LFD. I still have some Oros that I bought. I love the Oros.
Yeah, those are really good.
Those were really good.
Yeah, those are
I
really
do like
good.
those.
The gold tube.
Yep.
Yeah, those are really good. Really flavorful. Kind of strong. They're on the stronger side.
They are. They're darker. They're nice though. I do really enjoy those.
Have you ever? I don't even know if I. Have you ever had a Cuban cigar? A real one?
No.
Really?
I've had Cohiba, but not real Cohiba.
Well, you've had the red dot Cohiba.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. But you've never had any Cubans.
Not. I mean, I've had Cubans, but like I don't know if they're real or fake. You know?
Have you had a Davidoff?
No.
Have you had an Atabey?
No.
Wow. So like Opus Angel share is kind of like the highest you've been.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't put Liga number 9.
Liga Privada?
Yeah.
It's a good cigar. I mean,
It's a great cigar.
It's up there.
It's a nice
I mean,
cigar.
I wouldn't put it as high as maybe Atabey.
I feel like the
it's up there.
Ratzilla. I mean, those aren't.
But yeah, those are cool. Ratzilla, the Velvet Rats.
See, I really like those kind of cigars, though.
Really?
I do. They're nice, you know. And I don't feel like I'm, going too overboard on a price or something when I'm smoking them, you know.
What Sorry, I was reading a message from this one over here.
Okay.
I know, as always. She's always like texting me, like during the show, and I gotta stop.
She could talk too. This thing will probably pick it up.
Well, she's trying to give me like back of the house stuff.
Ah.
So we touched a little bit upon, you were a car mechanic for a while, and not just like an oil change guy. You're actually very skilled.
Yeah, that's certified.
Right.
Yeah.
You've done engine swaps. You've done complete rebuilds. I mean, you're very, very skilled in that field.
You name it.
We have a top 3 segment on the show. So for you, we'll do car related. Top 3 favorite engines of all time.
Of all time?
Just your favorite engines, cars or whatever. This is going to be interesting. First of all, I will say this. He's a Chevy guy, so I know there's going to be a Chevy motor in there.
Oh, 454.
Yeah.
I really like some of the Jap stuff.
Specifically,
2JZ. I do like my Supra.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, you're also a big Porsche guy. I mean, you worked for Porsche for a little while. I'm surprised you don't have any Porsche on that list.
one of my favorite cars from Porsche is the GT3 4.0 horizontally opposed engine. And that's because it's naturally aspirated and it makes like 580 horsepower.
Right.
And that's very impressive out of literally looks like a block, like a flat block inside the car. So I'd say those are fun engines,
I know that we had this conversation recently. We were talking about the LS3 motor, the Chevy LS3. Would you put that on that list?
It's a nice motor. It's good. You can put them in a lot of things.
Yeah.
Put any LS engine in a lot of things.
Yeah.
Miatas.
So just for clarification, your top 3 motors would be 454. Sorry, why am I blanking?
2JZ.
The 2JZ.
Yeah.
And then the Porsche 4.0.
Yeah.
From the GT3.
Mm-hmm.
Those would be your 3. And
Yeah.
you've worked on all 3 of those motors.
I'm not big into motors and stuff. Like I'm a gearhead, but I'm more like a technical gearhead. Like I could tell you how it works and stuff. I mean, when it comes to people that are like diehard, like, oh, put that in this and that. This is what this was at this year. I mean, I'm no good at that stuff.
You're not a historian. You're more of just like
I'm not a historian. I mean,
you're a technical guy.
I could tell you about it. I could tell you how it works. I can tell you what it smells like, tastes like.
Yeah, no joke aside, I'm sure you've definitely.
I've had my fair share of fluids.
Yeah, without making any
face.
innuendos, I'm sure you've had a lot of. It's I've seen you. I've seen you work on stuff. I mean, it's a messy job. So, just last year you did an engine swap for your dad
On the Caddy.
Yeah.
This shitty 3.0 motor that GM should have never made. GM, if you're listening.
Which is funny because you're a GM guy.
Yeah, it's just a terrible engine, And he loves it. I don't know why he loves it. He has some bond with that car, and I just don't understand. But he bought it, and I did it for free.
How long did that take you?
Well, they sent us the wrong engine first.
Okay.
Yeah, so it sat in my garage at the time for about 2 weeks while we got the new engine.
And then I
made Dad do a lot of the work.
Did you?
Yeah, he came over, and it's funny because he knew I've been a mechanic for like almost 10 years, and he knew what I did. I've showed him pictures, I've sent him videos, but I don't think he knew the extent of like what goes on. So like when he came and like I remember dropping the engine down on the cradle,
Right.
like lifting the body off while the engine stayed stationary because that's how you do it in those. Wheels still are on, like the axles are all still on and stuff. And like he was like, holy shit, like he didn't know what to say.
Would you say that was a point in your life where you felt like your dad finally kind of had a little more appreciation for what you
I
did?
think it was a point in my life where he understood my mechanical ability and I surpassed him at mechanical ability.
You think he gave you a little more respect for that?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny, obviously your sister.
Not that he hasn't before, but yes.
I mean, your sister obviously is on the show every week. You finally have come on the show officially, and it's been great having you on here. Trying to get the family on the show. We've had this kind of running joke. It's been like a half joke, we're half serious.
We'll get him on.
That we wanted to get Johnny F, as he's known as, on the show, because he's a musician. And, we wanted to get him on to talk about his craft, but he's very private about his music.
I don't think these people are ready for that.
No?
No.
He might be watching, so I don't know how into him we want to be, because he might be upset about that later, because he's very shy. Would you say that's true? He's very shy.
Yeah, he say he's shy, but he's not that shy.
You think he acts shy?
You see him when we go to the restaurant and stuff, how he is with the server and stuff. I mean, he's not shy.
You think he plays that he's shy, but he secretly loves the attention?
I think he's shy, but I think he judges his surroundings very quickly, and when he's in front of people, I think he gets mellowed really fast, and as long as he understands the situation, he can be as social as he's a social butterfly.
There's like two things that he really loves, I would say. One of them I'm sure of. The second one I'm almost positive of. And you can correct me if I'm wrong. It's the music.
Music and food.
And food.
Yeah.
When he cooks, there's like this. I don't want to say it's an unwritten rule in the house, but it's like when he cooks a whole meal for us, if we don't get all excited and be like, "Oh, this was great," like if we're like, I don't know, the steaks were a little dry, or maybe that chicken was a little too undercooked, or whatever, he gets all angry. He feels defeated.
It's not typically though. It's typically
no, he is
pretty damn good.
He is pretty. He is good in the kitchen. But it's almost like he gets he takes it seriously. He has a passion for it.
Well, because he's making a meal that he wants everyone to love and enjoy. So if he sees any doubt in anyone's mind,
and he loves to get everyone together,
he strives to do better.
He loves Sunday dinner. We do Sunday dinner here, obviously. Yeah. It's an Italian house.
Of course.
We do Sunday dinner, and he gets all excited for that, especially when everyone's here. Even cousin Mark from next door comes over.
I know. I practically live here now, too.
It's great.
Oh.
It's great.
Even though I have, my own place.
And it's funny. There was a time. So when Nicole and I went to Florida earlier this year, you remember, we came back, and we got in kind of late. I think we landed at 9 o'clock or so. By the time we got off the plane, got the bags, got home, probably 10:30-ish. We're 20 minutes from the airport?
Just about, yeah.
Yeah, but, still. I mean, so it wasn't, super late, but it was late enough. And we got home, and he had this whole Domino's feast. And it was just shocking because, I've never seen him eat Domino's before, let alone talk about it.
No,
And he was like, I wanted to go to Domino's because it's been, 20 years. And he had, 3 pizzas, 3 subs, 3 desserts.
When he goes to those places, he'll go all out.
He was all excited, and Nicole just looked at me, and she's like,
he'll drop $1.50 on everything.
And
he'll have to get, and then we'll have leftovers and stuff. It's just how he is,
And I just remember Nicole looked at me, and she was like, my dad missed us.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we have a good time with him, and but yeah, he hasn't. The other thing too, we haven't even been able to get him to smoke a cigar.
He's not a cigar smoker.
Has he tried? When's the last time he tried a cigar?
I remember him smoking a cigar a long time ago. I mean, over 10 years ago, down the Cape one time with someone's brother that came down. I think it was I forget who, but I remember, and it was one of those. It was on our first boat that we had.
Oh, really?
It was on our 19-foot Sea Ray that we had before we had this other boat, and it was we were washing the boat outside of our Cape house at the time, and he was smoking a cigar. We had people down and stuff, a couple people.
But did he enjoy it?
He
just faked through it?
I don't know if he faked through it. I think he was just smoking one. I don't know what it was, or if he finished it, but I do remember him smoking a cigar. But he's not a cigar smoker.
No.
I mean, I'm sure if he found the right cigar, maybe he would try it, but you'd have to, I don't know. The stars would have to align for him
Yeah.
to be like, hey,
Someday we'll get him.
let me get a cigar. I mean,
Someday we'll
you
get
know,
him.
I'm sure it's not out of the realm, but,
Yeah, someday we'll get him on there.
you know.
Another thing I know that you really enjoy to smoke is Perdomo. That's a brand that you've also really enjoyed.
I do. Perdomo's nice.
Would you say that, like me, I know you seem to follow, you have a very similar palate to me from what I've learned. And this is not from any influence that, like, direct.
Well, no, it's probably because of the stuff you've given me and the stuff that you smoke.
Yeah.
And it's stuff that I've, but I've branched out and gotten some other stuff too. We tried. I know. What did I get up at? What was that smoke shop I went to with where Dave was with
Two guys.
Yeah, two guys. I remember. What did I buy? I bought an Ashton, I think.
No, they don't sell Ashton there.
No, not Ashton. What was the other? Churchill.
Well, that's a size.
Oh, see, this is how bad I am.
Yeah, you don't even know what you smoke. This is like the worst thing you could have. The worst treat you could have is cigars, but you don't even know.
You know what the
smoke.
problem is? I made fun of it before, but even Nicole said, like, get a notebook and, like, write down what you smoke.
You should.
Because then I can go back and say, this was good, because that's how I'll learn more. But
You log your cigars.
yeah.
There's apps.
In fact,
for 'em
I
on
think
your
don't
phone.
you guys have a cigar logbook?
She does.
Yeah, and then there's like notes you can put next to it. and
Yeah,
stuff.
you should.
I remember. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I should if I'm gonna smoke more. Just to know, because like when I go to a store, it's hard for me to buy stuff.
Well, let me ask you this question. So, you go into cigar shops somewhat regularly on your own.
Yeah.
When you go into a cigar shop, what's the first thing you do?
Honestly, I go over to the Fuente.
Really?
I do because I like to see if they have any good deals on stuff, or like if there's stuff I've smoked with you that I know about that I really liked and things. And it always ends up being like their number one that they have.
So, would you say like that's like your comfort zone? You go to Fuente first, and then you branch off.
Yeah, because
Like you know it.
I know what those are, and then typically they stack next to the Fuente other good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of keep it grouped together, and then as I work away around, I know there's one cigar shop down in Rhode Island.
There's a lot of shops down there.
Well, I go to one in particular. I go to White Ash.
Okay.
I gone. My roommate Joe. He's a fellow Mason.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So that is a Mason place, and they go there. It's a great shop. I mean, you can get a drink. The bar's awesome. Plenty of seating. They have the TVs going. The guy that owns it is friggin' awesome. He'll come and smoke a cigar with you. So.
Yeah, Rhode Island definitely has a reputation of being a very cigar-friendly.
It is. It's great. And there's they have a nice. It's not a huge humidor walk-in thing, but they have a good selection in there. And I know they have their Fuente, their Perdomo, and all like LFDs, right? All they have like nice good stuff all around there, and then it'll start go over to like the nubs, and then like the acids and stuff, and like those cigars like on the other side.
Infused stuff, yeah.
Yeah, and then there's Boulevards. That's another place. It's a restaurant down there.
Okay.
You can smoke while you eat.
Oh, that's cool.
Doesn't get better than that. And I've actually thought about getting the membership there. We have a buddy Mike down, in Attleboro, actually, one of my roommate's friends and my friend too. He has a membership there, and we'll go in, and he has a locker. He goes and gets his boxes in there, get a stick out, and we'll have dinner.
Rhode Island is a place that it's not too far for us, but we keep saying that we want to go down there and spend a few weekends down there and going to all the different shops. We haven't done
About
it.
an hour drive. It's not too bad. There's plenty of things.
Yeah, I mean it's probably maybe a little bit longer than going up to New Hampshire, from where we are.
Yeah.
But and we just haven't done it yet. But there's actually surprised there's more shops down there than there probably are in New Hampshire. There's a lot of places down there. Would you say that when you go into a cigar shop, do you ever? When's the last time you went in there and you found something new that you bought, you tried, you smoked, and you were just like, wow, you're blown away by it? Like, what's your latest find that you didn't know about that you're excited about now?
I had an Oliva.
Oliva.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
Do you remember which one?
Sorry, guys. No.
No.
It was lighter. It was a light shade. Like the wrapper was light. It wasn't dark.
Did it have a white band on it? Might have been the Connecticut.
It had a dark band with white writing.
Might have been the Connecticut.
It might have been, if I'm
Yeah.
remembering correctly. It was nice. It was actually a really good cigar.
If we're thinking of the same cigar, it's a good cigar.
Actually, yeah, because I came back and I told you what I think I had told you, like, oh, Oliva, and like you knew, like, obviously about it. And then I've seen them in other shops too.
Yeah, Oliva's
gone.
it's a big brand. It's a great brand.
Yeah.
They make great cigars.
But no, because I hadn't had one from you or anywhere else. I had got one there. I got I smoked it there at the place. I bought 2 sticks and I got a drink there when I went there with some friends, and I had a LFD. What was the LFD I had? Coronado. Yeah, Coronado.
Yeah, that's a great one.
It was really good stick.
Honestly, not to LFD Coronado. I feel, and I had this conversation with John.
They love John down at the White Ash place too.
Yeah,
Yeah, he keeps them well stocked. I mean, they have a good selection down. They have a great selection.
the Coronado is an
there.
interesting cigar because I would say out of all the cigars in LFD's profile, that cigar is very underrated. It's a very good cigar that I don't see.
I always get one when I'm there. I've had dozens. I have some in my humidor now. Actually, they're good.
Yeah, I have some actually on hand too. It's one of those cigars that LFD makes that I feel it's a great cigar, and I feel that it's better than some of the more popular cigars that they have. Just in terms of what sells more.
Yeah.
That I've had, and they're good cigars, but I'm surprised it's not a bigger hit because it's a fantastic cigar, and I don't think it gets enough airtime. And it's funny. It's funny you bring that one up because we actually just had that conversation not too long ago. Yeah, the Coronados are great.
Oh, I had the bull, the Andalusian bull.
Andalusian Bull, yeah.
That would when you asked me before, one of the better stuff that I smoked and like more expensive. That's one of them.
Yeah, that's up there. That's a special smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
I think John gave me that at your house.
Really?
Yeah, I think he reached into his cooler and he ripped out a friggin' stack and gave me that time that I met him. That was one of them. It was that, and he had a football. Remember the football?
The football cigars,
He
yeah.
had the football one too.
Yeah, those are cool.
Yeah.
Those are cool. Yeah, they make a different variation
Yeah.
every year. While we're still kind of on this line of questioning, do you remember what your first box was?
My first box was... Oh, the first box was the one you got me for my birthday. You bought me the Fuente, remember?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what box it was.
The white box.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, that was the Royal Salutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are good.
Yeah, that's a good box.
I actually just finished my last one like a couple weeks ago.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I still had them in there.
Yeah, that's a good cigar.
No, they were good. I just never bought boxes because I never went in and spent like hundreds on cigars. I just kind of would always get single sticks or the bundles.
Right.
Because I'm a cheap kid.
That's fine. You buy what you can smoke. You buy what you can afford. There's never any shame of what people buy. Or what
I
they
just
smoke.
feel like if I go and buy a very expensive box,
You're never gonna want to smoke it.
yeah, I told you I have a weird OCD about the boxes.
You don't want to break down the box.
Yeah, like actually no, so the first box I had was the LFD sampler. Remember?
I don't know if I'd call it a whole box, but
No, but
yeah.
it was a box and it was neatly separated inside.
It was all the different tubes.
All the different tubes,
Yeah.
and like I just didn't want to touch it.
Yeah, I remember that.
I was weird, and you're like, just fucking smoke
You-
one.
you-
and I
you-
didn't want to touch it.
I remember you bringing that over like 4 different times, and you're
And
like,
I'm
"Oh, I
like-
brought this," and then you would be like, "I don't want to open it yet," and I'd be
And
like, "Why?"
and this is how
You can buy more.
This is how stupid I am. I realized the inside that separates them comes out, and then it's no longer a neatly separated box. And I'm
yeah,
like,
there you
oh,
go.
I just felt bad about, it's like taking a child from their parents.
In what way?
Well, because the box is like their home,
Yeah,
and then you have,
that's a strange
and
analogy.
then
I've never
and
heard
then,
that
and then I would
before.
just look at it and be like, it's gone.
Yeah, well, I mean, I kind of know what you're saying. There's certain boxes
I just didn't want to touch it. I don't know what else to tell you.
yeah. I don't know. That's a weird analogy right there.
Yeah, it's a terrible analogy, but it's what it is.
You told us this story. Getting off cigars for a minute, you told us this story before we started the show tonight. You had this strange encounter with a very clingy person online.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, you're a single man now. You're a bachelor. You're out on the market. You're getting yourself out there.
Barely.
Kinda. You're not really pushing it.
I
but
am working a lot of hours. I have no time.
You have no time to
do
be social.
anything.
Yeah, it's all right. You're flying solo. Sometimes you need that. But you do. You have some. Sometimes you have some time to try and be social online. And one particular encounter that you had didn't appreciate your somewhat slow response time.
She messaged me because she saw a picture of my cat.
Oh,
Said, "Hey, your cat's really cool." I said, "Hey, that's awesome.
yeah.
Here's my Snapchat." Here's my Snapchat. Nothing. And then she would message me, and this whole span happened in like 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
And she messaged me probably like 30 times in those 2 days and said, "Hey, like, do you want to get to know me or not?" Literally, nothing else. Like, just, do you want to get to know me or not? Because, like, I didn't snap her or message her because, frankly, I didn't give a shit. And, you know, I was like, I literally messaged her and I was like, "Hey, I'm busy. Like, I'm working a lot.
Yeah, you're working. You're a busy guy. Yeah,
Like, I'm
yeah.
all over the place."
What did she expect you to answer? Like within
No,
seconds?
I don't know. So I was like, "I'm busy," and then she's like, and then I forgot what she said. She was like, "Okay, well, I'm just trying to find something here," and I'm like, "Okay,
Yeah, we all
I'm
are.
like, I'm sorry to ghost you, but I'm really busy. Like, sorry, I'm not
Yeah.
getting back to you." And then I deleted her off Snap.
Did
'Cause
she
I'm
get
like, I'm
mad
all
about
set.
that?
And then she went back on the app that I was on the Messenger, and said, "You could have just been straight up with me." And then she called me a pussy.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to get to.
I
wanted to
was
get to
like,
that.
what
Yeah,
the
she. Yeah.
I was like, "All right,
Yeah,
that's a first, whatever."
that's a first for you.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't give two shits about her or
You,
that.
you seemed a little ticked about it earlier. That's why.
No, I just thought it was funny that like.
Oh,
she,
you think it's
she
funny?
said that? Yeah.
You seemed angry before, so.
I-
Are you not used to women like putting you in your place?
She didn't put me in my place in any way.
Sounds
shape,
like
or
she
form.
did.
I don't. Not really.
Sounds like she was wearing the pants in that encounter.
For 2 days, I guess she was the
I
boss.
don't know.
Yeah.
This, you're not used to that kind of. Anyway,
She just doesn't understand. I guess that
it's all good.
people.
Hey,
work.
you know what? You finally got to come on the show. You've been asking for a while. We made it happen. Was it everything you expected it to be?
Yeah.
It's nothing crazy. We just talk.
I mean, I
It's
wish
not
I,
a regular show for us.
I wish I had more insight
It's okay. You're learning.
about stuff.
You're the average cigar smoker right here. You're learning. You're an average newer cigar smoker.
like I said before, officially.
Yeah.
Like I kind of care what I'm smoking.
Yeah.
I try to take care of what I'm smoking. My humidor is set perfectly. It's nice. Everything's nice inside of it. I got
Are
it
you
all.
really particular about the way you keep your humidor?
So like I have. It's not that big of a humidor. It only holds, I think, 200 sticks. I have about.
I mean, that's a good size.
I have it. Well, yeah, you guys bought it for me actually for my birthday. I
Mhm.
think last year,
I
right?
did.
Stand up one. I sacrificed the first drawer for humid packs because I realized if you put a humid pack in the drawers, you can't put many cigars in it. So
Yeah.
and there's vents through them. So I put the
Obviously.
I have a big I have the proper Bovita pack that suits 200 sticks in my humidor.
Okay.
And it's in the bottom shelf, and it works fine. It gets the whole thing, and I let it sit for a couple days, and it was perfect. So on the first drawer, I have my Angel Share,
Yeah.
and I have some LFD, some Perdomo stuff, and then second, I have a crap ton of factory smokes,
But yeah, I know you love those.
and then I think I got a couple short stories mixed in there too, actually, and then on like the third drawer, I have more factory smokes because, like I said, I bought 100 of them. And then I have some on the top shelf. I have a couple factory smokes. I have a what else do I have in there right now? I have something else in there. I have I think I have a couple acids in there because Joe smokes them. My
Your
roommate.
roommate, yeah.
Yeah, and he's welcome to everything in my humidor. I tell him countless times. When his buddies come over and stuff, like our buddy Mike, he smokes. Take one. I don't care.
Yeah.
Not the bottom drawer. Anything else? Yours.
Oh,
Yeah.
God forbid.
Well, it's my Angel Share.
Yeah.
Would you give yours away?
I mean, I have to you.
Yes, but that's me.
Yeah.
You're marrying my sister,
Yeah, I know.
so kind of comes with the territory here.
What's that called? Taxes?
Taxes, dues,
Yeah.
whatever. So,
Paying the toll. I
Yeah.
know.
so, yeah.
Let me ask you this question before we wrap up. What's one cigar that you haven't had that you really want to try?
Atabey.
That would be the one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Atabey or Davidoff.
Or Davidoff.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Because you've talked highly of them and you have them. And
No, they're really good. They're really good smokes.
yeah, I've never had them. I mean, I don't know.
Two very different kinds of cigars.
Yeah.
Similar, but very different. Different tobaccos and whatnot. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I think you have a birthday coming up. Maybe
This month.
Yeah. Maybe that'll happen for you.
I just don't want to buy a whole box of something I had never smoked yet.
You don't have to buy a whole box. You can buy singles.
I know.
You know, it's all right. Maybe you'll find something.
Yeah.
And maybe you'll get a gift. But on that note, we're gonna wrap up the show. I'll let you stick around for this one. Since you mentioned Davidoff, don't forget next week. We're back with a guest, an industry guest. We have Class Kellner. He's going to talk a little bit about his family, tobaccos, and working with Davidoff and all of the stuff that he does. So don't miss that. Same place, same time, next Thursday, 7 p.m. Eastern. You can find us on Facebook, YouTube, anywhere podcasts can be found. So please don't forget to go on, like, subscribe, follow on all of our platforms. No Spare Notes this week. Spare Notes will return next Saturday night with William Cooper of Cigar Coop and myself. And that'll be on at 9 p.m. Eastern on Facebook and YouTube. And following will be everywhere podcasts can be found. You can find the Spare Notes, actually, for anyone who... I've gotten a couple questions on this. The Spare Notes episodes are all with the regular Smokin Tabacco Show episodes. So if you follow us there, the Spare Notes episodes will be there as well. As well as Coop will post it on Cigar Coop. You can find it there. And we have a short list of topics as of now, but it changes very quickly. It'll be a long list by the time we go live next week. So stay tuned for that show. That's going to be a great time. And we have a long list of guests set up for the rest of the month and then into October, as we mentioned before. So it's going to be a pretty busy month or so coming up as we get right into the fall and then into the holiday season. We have a lot of different things planned for that. So stay smoky, guys, and we'll see you next week. Take care.